Imagine this. One day, you just disappeared. Not a slow fade, not a gradual retreat. You're simply gone, vanished from someone's life as if you never existed in their world. As you walk away, a thought crosses your mind. Have they ever truly valued you? Or have they simply taken you for granted, assuming you'd always be there? Like oxygen? Think about it. You've always been that reliable figure, the one who picks up the pieces, the constant presence they assumed was a given. And it's because of that constancy that they've grown comfortable, complacent. They believe they can treat you any way they like because they expect you'll always be there, waiting, forgiving, and available at their convenience. But here's the brutal truth. When you vanish, when you decide you're done playing that role, it shakes their world in ways they never anticipated, because suddenly they're forced to face a reality they never prepared for. A reality without you. The initial shock. What happens when you remove yourself from the picture completely? No texts, no calls, no visits, no likes on their posts, just silence. A silence that speaks louder than any confrontation ever could. That's when the real impact begins to hit them. Slowly at first, like a creeping realization. But then it builds, and soon it's all-consuming. They never thought you'd be the one to walk away. And now they're left wondering why they feel that absence so deeply. They miss your presence more with each passing day. The very thing they once took for granted is now the thing they crave. Imagine the confusion in their minds as they replay every interaction, wondering where they went wrong. For so long, they felt secure, convinced that they could always reel you back in, keep you around like a backup plan, a safety net. But now that safety net is gone, and all that's left is the hollow space you once filled. I choose my own worth. The emptiness. This isn't just any emptiness. It's the hollow ache of missing someone who brought genuine value to their life. They may try to deny it, put on a brave face, or tell themselves they're fine. But deep down, something is gnawing at them. Something they can't brush off. It's the void left by your absence. When you were present, they took it all for granted. Your time, your kindness, the way you were always there. Now there's a gaping hole where you once were, and it's consuming them. This feeling goes beyond having someone to text or spend time with. It's the loss of comfort, security, and stability you provided, things they never thought they'd miss until they were gone. They may have thought you'd always be there, unwavering and reliable. But now that sense of stability is gone, and they're left with a realization that's unsettling. Imagine this. They see your absence in every small thing. The silence where a text would be, the missed laughter in familiar places. Each moment without you feels heavier, a constant reminder of how much better their days were when you were part of them. I am not an option. I am a priority. The curiosity. Following the sting of rejection and the emptiness of missing you, another feeling sneaks in. Overwhelming curiosity. At first, they try to ignore it, pretending they don't care. But soon enough, curiosity begins to eat away at them. They wonder what you're doing, who you're spending time with, and why you stopped reaching out. This curiosity morphs into an obsession. Each passing day without contact fuels their questions. Why did you pull away? Are you happier now? Perhaps with someone new? Their mind races with scenarios, consumed by thoughts of what you might be doing and how you could move on so easily. This curiosity grows stronger, and they realize they're the ones left wondering, while you're focused on your own growth and happiness. The mystery of your absence is something they're desperate to solve. As they spiral through these stages, let them. This is their journey, not yours. You've walked away not to manipulate or control, but to reclaim your life, your energy, and your worth. Stand firm, grounded in the knowledge that you are whole on your own. I am the mystery they can't solve. The self-reflection. When you disappear from their life, they're forced to look inward, to face the uncomfortable questions they've been dodging. At first, they might shrug off your absence, convincing themselves it doesn't matter. But as time passes and the silence settles in, they begin to question themselves. Did I push them away? Was I too distant? These doubts gnaw at them. They replay scenarios in their minds, moments when they could have shown you more kindness, been more attentive, or simply appreciated you more. For someone who was in a long-term relationship with you, this self-reflection cuts deeper. They look back at the moments you invested, the times you tried to keep things alive, and they begin to understand the value of what they lost. This process of self-reflection is more than just regret. It's an awakening. They see, maybe for the first time, that your decision to pull away was a response to their own actions, or lack thereof. This realization stings more than anything else. They can't place the blame on you anymore because the reality is right in front of them. Their behavior, their choices drove you to leave. What you're doing during this time is staying strong, focusing on yourself, and refusing to fall back into old patterns. Their self-reflection is not your burden. They have to confront their own growth, or lack of it, on their own terms. I reflect, but I don't regret. The regret. As they wrestle with the urge to pursue you, they face an internal tug-of-war between two powerful emotions, relief and regret. At first, when you stepped away, they might have felt a temporary sense of freedom, a relief that gave them space to breathe. They might have convinced themselves they needed this distance, that it was what they wanted. But relief is fleeting. Regret starts creeping in, subtly at first, with small what-ifs. Maybe I should have tried harder. Maybe I was too distant. Over time, regret intensifies, overshadowing any sense of relief they felt. They realize they were wrong to assume you'd always be there waiting, and they're forced to confront the fact that they let something valuable slip away. For someone who was in a long-term relationship with you, the regret cuts even deeper. They remember the times you tried to bridge the gap, the efforts you made to bring back the spark. They realize now that their sense of relief was never about finding freedom, but about losing something meaningful. Now they're left with the weight of knowing they didn't appreciate you when they had the chance. This conflict between relief and regret becomes a wake-up call. They start to see that what they thought was freedom was really the absence of something significant. And now they're left with nothing but the knowledge of what they let slip away. I am more than enough. The pursuit. Once self-reflection sets in, a powerful urge to pursue you takes hold. This is when the tables truly turn. The person who once felt in control, who may have thought they didn't need you, suddenly feels the pull to chase after what they lost. It's not just a fleeting thought, it's a deep, undeniable need to regain the connection they once took for granted. Initially, they might have convinced themselves that your absence was no big deal. They told themselves they didn't need you, that they were fine. But now, after missing your presence, confronting their curiosity, and facing their own shortcomings, they realize they were wrong. This emptiness, this void, has them reaching out, trying to reconnect with the person they once overlooked. For someone who only knew you briefly, they begin to understand that they missed out on a rare opportunity, and they feel an urge to see if they can still be a part of your life. In a long-term relationship, this urge is even stronger. They're haunted by memories of times you made an effort, the dinners, the late-night conversations, the little things you did to keep the relationship alive. Now they want that back. They want you back. The desire to pursue you becomes all-consuming, and they'll go to great lengths to try and reconnect. They might like your posts, send casual messages, or even reach out to mutual friends to get a sense of where you stand. But here's the beautiful irony. You step back, and now they're the ones doing the chasing. The roles have reversed. They no longer hold the control they once thought they had. The certainty they felt in having you there, always available, has dissolved into a deep uncertainty, leaving them with nothing but the urge to bridge the gap they created. Here's where your power lies. You have the choice now. You've already chosen to move forward, and now you get to decide whether their pursuit is even worth your time. This isn't about playing games. It's about knowing your worth. They're chasing now because they see what they've lost, what you always knew about yourself, that you were worth pursuing. I attract. I don't chase. The games. After all their push and pull, they're left with something they didn't expect. The silence. Silence can be louder than words, and now your absence is deafening. At first, they thought they could handle it, thought they could wait you out. But now the quiet is pressing down on them. No more back and forth, no more excuses, just silence. And it's suffocating. Without a text, without a call, without even the chance of a casual run-in, they're left to feel every bit of the void you once filled. Each day that goes by without a word from you becomes a reminder of what they let slip away. This silence forces them to sit alone with their own thoughts, with the reality of what they've lost. For someone new, the silence is nearly unbearable. They're used to you being the one to keep things moving, to make the effort. But now that you've pulled away completely, all they have left is the echo of their own doubts and regrets. That silence becomes a mirror, reflecting back all their indecision, all their missed chances, and there's nowhere for them to hide from it. In an old relationship, the weight of silence is even more profound. They were used to the rhythm of your relationship, the late-night talks, the plans you used to make, even the arguments that once filled the space. But now there's nothing, just silence, forcing them to confront the reality of life without you. And it isn't something they can just shake off. My silence speaks volumes. The fear. After the silence sets in, there comes a moment when fear takes over. They start to worry. The fear that you've moved on, that they've lost you for good, gnaws at them. It's no longer about pride or games or ego. It's about survival. The thought of a life without you is unbearable, and the reality that they might have missed their chance hits them hard. That fear runs deep. They wonder if someone else has stepped into their place, if you found happiness elsewhere. The idea of you being truly gone, of you moving forward without them, eats away at their peace of mind until they can't stand it. In the case of someone new, this fear comes from their own misjudgment. They thought they could take their time, that you'd always be an option. But now that silence has gone on too long, and the fear that someone else has captured your attention grows more desperate. They'll start reaching out, sending messages, maybe even showing up unannounced because they can't bear the thought of losing you. For someone from the past, the fear is even stronger. They thought they knew you, thought they could predict your every move, but now they see the truth, and it terrifies them. They're forced to reckon with all those times they pushed you away, every moment they took you for granted. Your silence, your newfound independence, it shakes them to their core. But here's the most important part. When they come back, they're coming back on your terms. You're no longer the one seeking validation or begging for their attention. You've reclaimed your power, and now they're the ones who are desperate. This is where the dynamic shifts. They finally see what they let go. I am worth the chase. The power of your absence. Through it all, remember this: you hold the power. You've grown, and you're becoming someone more aware and more powerful than ever before. This journey has brought you to a place of strength and understanding, and now the choice is yours. Whether they come back or not is irrelevant. What matters is that you've taken control of your story. As they battle with their regret, you stand firm in your own growth. Make no mistake, this isn't about revenge or manipulation. It's about reclaiming your power, taking back your worth, and showing them that you are not someone they can afford to lose. When you step away, it's more than just a disappearance. It's a shift, a soul shaker that hits them in ways they never expected. And it's in that absence that your value finally becomes undeniable. unmistakable, irreplaceable. So here's my challenge to you. Let them feel it. Walk away and let them sit with the cold reality of life without you. Because when they finally start reaching out, trying to pull you back into their orbit, you'll know this one undeniable truth. You hold the power now. I am my own anchor. Your worth isn't something to be discovered only in your absence. Yet sometimes, that's the only way they'll understand what they took for granted. Sometimes, vanishing is the only way to make them realize just how irreplaceable you are. And as the days turn to weeks, that absence becomes the silence they can't ignore, the peace they can't replace. So take a step back, reclaim your worth, and let them come to terms with what they lost. Because believe me, you're not the only one who needs this message. There are countless others just like you, waiting for that wake-up call. Let's break this cycle together. Remember, you are not here to chase anyone. You are not here to be taken for granted. You are the prize, the treasure that someone should cherish. I am enough, exactly as I am, and I will never beg for anyone to see my worth. Did you know? Just one like from you can give me the motivation to create more awesome videos. And by subscribing with the notification bell on, you'll never miss out on my next amazing content. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this video or suggest a topic you'd like to see next.